Have you ever felt like your boundaries are being crossed? It's a question we may ask ourselves from time to time, but what exactly does it mean? Personal boundaries, in essence, are the guidelines, rules, or limits that we set for ourselves. They dictate how we allow others to treat us, how we treat ourselves, and how we interact with the world around us. You see, these boundaries are incredibly important for maintaining our mental and emotional health. They serve as a protective barrier, safeguarding our self-esteem, self-respect, and overall well-being. Yet recognizing when these boundaries are being crossed can sometimes be a tricky business. It requires a deep understanding of our emotions, our values, and ultimately ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's all about self-care and self-respect. If you've ever asked yourself this question, this video will help you identify the 5 signs that someone is crossing your boundaries. The first sign to watch out for is a constant feeling of discomfort. This is more than just an uneasy feeling that comes and goes. This is about a persistent, nagging discomfort that lingers, a sense of unease that you can't seem to shake off. When you're dealing with people or situations that cross your boundaries, it's common to feel uncomfortable. This discomfort can show up in various ways. It might be a physical sensation like a knot in your stomach or a tension headache that just won't go away. Or it could be an emotional response, such as feeling anxious, upset, or even angry. These feelings are your body's way of alerting you that something isn't right. It's like a built-in radar system designed to protect you from harm. So, when you're consistently feeling uncomfortable, it's a good idea to pay attention. This could be a sign that your boundaries are being violated. Now, it's important to understand that discomfort is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a natural response to stepping out of your comfort zone or trying something new. But there's a clear difference between this kind of healthy discomfort and the discomfort that arises when your boundaries are being crossed. When it's about your boundaries, the discomfort doesn't ease with time. It persists and often intensifies. It's not linked to growth or learning, but rather to a sense of violation or disrespect. This type of discomfort is a red flag that you need to reassess the situation and possibly redefine your boundaries. Bear in mind that your boundaries are unique to you. They're based on your personal values, beliefs, and experiences. So, what makes one person uncomfortable may not affect another person in the same way. That's why it's crucial to trust your feelings and not dismiss them simply because others might not understand or agree. So listen to your body and your emotions. If you're consistently feeling uncomfortable around a person or in a certain situation, don't ignore it. Take it as a signal that your boundaries might be being crossed and take steps to address it. Remember, nobody has the right to make you feel uncomfortable consistently. The second sign is if you're frequently feeling drained or exhausted. This feeling can sneak up on you subtly like a thief in the night, stealing away your energy and leaving you depleted. It's not always about physical fatigue. Emotional energy is a real thing. And when it's continually sapped, it's a strong indication that your boundaries are being crossed. Imagine your energy as a reservoir. In a balanced relationship or interaction, water flows in and out, maintaining a healthy level. But when someone continually takes from your reservoir without giving back, the level drops. You're left feeling drained, parched, and empty. That's what happens to your energy when your boundaries are crossed. But why does this happen? Why does boundary violation lead to energy drain? Well, maintaining your boundaries requires mental and emotional effort. When someone disregards your boundaries, you're forced to constantly defend and re-establish them. This struggle is a relentless energy consumer. It's like running a marathon without a finish line. Moreover, dealing with the emotional fallout of boundary violations, the frustration, the resentment, the guilt is exhausting. It's like carrying a heavy backpack up a steep hill. The longer you carry it, the more drained you become. Now, think about the long-term implications of this energy drain. It's not just about feeling tired. If this continues, it can lead to burnout, a state of chronic physical and emotional exhaustion. Burnout isn't just a buzzword. It's a serious condition that can have profound effects on your mental and physical health. So, what can you do about it? The first step is awareness. Recognize that you're feeling drained and understand that it's not normal. It's not just part of life. it's a sign that something needs to change. The next step is to identify the source of this drain. Is it a particular relationship? Is it a specific interaction? Once you've identified the source, you can start to take steps to protect your boundaries and preserve your energy. Pay attention to your energy levels. They can be an important indicator of boundary violations. The third sign is the feeling of resentment. Resentment, a rather strong, bitter emotion, often stirs up within us when our boundaries have been continually disrespected or violated. It's like a silent alarm alerting us that something is wrong, that we've been stretched too thin or taken for granted too often. Imagine this. You've been working late every night, picking up the slack for a colleague who constantly shirks their duties. You don't mind helping out occasionally, but this has become a regular occurrence. Your colleague takes your assistance for granted while you're left burning the midnight oil, your resentment simmering quietly. Or picture another scenario. You have a friend who constantly borrows money, promising to pay it back, but never does. Each time they approach you for another loan, their promises of repayment ring hollow and resentment begins to bloom in your heart. In both these instances, your boundaries are being crossed repeatedly. You're being taken advantage of, and your feelings of resentment are a natural response to this. Resentment is more than just an uncomfortable emotion. It's a potent signal that your boundaries are being trampled upon. It's an internal warning system telling you that your personal space, your time, your resources, or your emotions are being misused or disrespected. When resentment starts to build, it is crucial to pay attention to it. Listen to what it's trying to tell you. It's not there to make you feel miserable. On the contrary, it's there to alert you to the fact that your boundaries are being violated, that you're not being treated with the respect you deserve. Take a moment to understand the root of this resentment. What boundaries are being crossed? How can you communicate your needs better? How can you ensure that your boundaries are respected? Asking these questions can help you navigate your feelings of resentment and guide you towards healthier relationships and interactions. Resentment is a strong emotion that should not be ignored. It's often a sign that your boundaries need reinforcement. The fourth and fifth signs are feelings of guilt and fear. Let's delve into guilt first. This is a tricky emotion, isn't it? It tends to creep in when we start feeling like we're obligated to put others' needs before our own. Let's say a friend asks for your help on their project. You're already swamped with work, but you feel this pang of guilt at the mere thought of saying no. So you end up saying yes, stretching yourself thin. This guilt arises because you're crossing your own boundaries, prioritizing others' needs over your own. But where does this guilt come from? Often, it's from societal or cultural conditioning that teaches us to always be accommodating, to always put others first. However, it's important to remember that it's not selfish to prioritize your own needs. It's essential for your well-being. Now, let's turn to fear. Fear in this context is not about phobias or being scared of the dark. It's a more subtle, insidious kind of fear. It's the fear of expressing your needs, the fear of saying no because of potential consequences. Maybe you're worried about a loved one's reaction if you set a boundary. Will they be angry? Will they stop loving you? This fear can prevent you from setting necessary boundaries, leaving you feeling trapped and powerless. But remember, it's your right to express your needs and set boundaries. If someone truly cares for you, they will respect your boundaries, even if they don't fully understand them. And let's be clear about this. Setting boundaries isn't about pushing others away. It's about creating a safe space for yourself. A space where you feel comfortable, respected, and valued. It's about taking care of your mental and emotional health. Guilt and fear are powerful emotions that can indicate your boundaries are being violated. So, pay attention to these feelings. They are not your enemies, but signals telling you it's time to reassess and reinforce your boundaries. By recognizing these 5 signs, you can take steps to protect your boundaries. Let's do a quick recap. The signs that your boundaries may be crossed are constant discomfort, feeling drained, resentment, guilt, and fear. These feelings should not be ignored. They are your internal compass guiding you to take necessary actions. One of the most effective methods to protect your boundaries is through assertive communication. Speak up, express your feelings and needs honestly, yet respectfully. Don't allow others to make you feel guilty for asserting your boundaries. Self-care also plays a crucial role. It's about giving the world the best of you, not what's left of you. So take time to replenish your energy and cultivate a sense of peace within yourself. Lastly, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors can provide valuable insights and strategies to help you navigate these issues. Remember, your boundaries are essential for your well-being. Stand up for them, and you stand up for yourself.